Wet weather and hydroplaning wheels are believed to have been the cause of a horrific, fiery crash that left 9 girls and 1 father dead in Alabama over the weekend. 8 of the 9 girls were from a home for abused, neglected, and abandoned girls, and they were all traveling in the home's bus when it became sandwiched between 2 out-of-control 18-wheeler trucks. Here are the details. ABC News reports that 9 children were among 10 people killed in a horrific Alabama interstate crash on Saturday, June 19th. The crash was described as a domino effect crash involving 18 vehicles. It started when 2 18-wheeler trucks crashed and sandwiched a bus between them. One of the vehicles that set off the deadly chain reaction is believed to have hydroplaned on the wet road surface. The bus was from the Tallapoosa County Girls Ranch, a home for abused, neglected, and abandoned girls. Only one of the 9 people in this bus, namely the female driver, could be saved by a bystander before a huge fire engulfed the bus. The surviving driver was also the director of the girls' ranch, whose 2 daughters also died in the crash. As the chaos unfolded, an SUV with a couple and their child overturned nearby, leading to the death of the father and his baby daughter. The crash occurred around 2:30 in the afternoon on Interstate 65 in Butler County, Alabama.
Tiger Woods was badly injured but miraculously survived after the SUV he was driving left the road, hit a tree, and rolled. Here's how it happened. On Tuesday, February 23rd around 7 a.m., Tiger Woods left the Turania Seaside Resort in an SUV. ESPN reports that he was on his way to an 8 a.m. appointment at the Rolling Hills Country Club and that he was running late. He proceeded to drive in a northerly direction on Hawthorne Boulevard, on a downhill stretch known for accidents caused by overspeeding, due to the sharp downward slope and subtle curving of the road. Just seconds after passing the intersection with Black Horse Road, his car left the right lane, crossing the center divider and the oncoming lane. The car then flipped over, hit a tree, and slid for dozens of yards through trees and bushes. A neighbor called 911 at 7:12 a.m. The Los Angeles Fire Department arrived at 7:28 a.m. and worked to extricate Woods from the vehicle, using various tools to remove the windshield and safely remove Woods. He was then taken to a nearby hospital where he underwent surgery on a shattered ankle and leg fractures. Rescue workers said Tiger is lucky to be alive.
Tragedy struck on the first day of Taiwan's tomb-sweeping holiday when dozens of people were killed in the country's worst train crash in decades. Here's what happened. 50 people died and 202 people were injured on the morning of Friday, April 2nd, when the 408 Taroko Express train, bound for Taidong County in southeastern Taiwan, struck a crane truck that had rolled onto its track near the Qingshui Tunnel in Hualien County. Taiwan Central News Agency reported that the truck is likely to have rolled down a grassy slope next to the track only 15 minutes before the collision, because an earlier train, the Zhejiang Limited Express, had passed by the same track position at 9:13 a.m., and the Taroko Express was derailed at 9:28 a.m. According to the reporter, the busy train was carrying 498 people, including 4 train staff, when it hit the truck. With only 372 seats available for passengers, 122 people would have been standing. At the time of the crash, the train was likely to have been traveling at around 80 miles or 130 kilometers per hour. The CNA, citing data from the train security cameras, reported that the train's driver would have had only 6.9 seconds to brake as he emerged from the nearby Hezhen Tunnel, only 250 meters from the truck. United Daily News' account of the collision itself describes how the train's 8th carriage hit the truck just in front of the Qingshui Tunnel, then derailed, crushing against the left side wall of the tunnel. The next 3 carriages were also derailed and crushed to varying degrees, and in combination, these 4 carriages make up almost all of the casualties. Citing the Central Disaster Response Center in Taiwan, the reporter broke down the casualties as follows. 28 people died in the 8th carriage, 1 died in the 7th, 2 in the 6th, and 4 in the 5th and 4th carriages. 1 person also died in the 3rd carriage, and other bodies were found outside the carriages. In the aftermath of the incident, thoughts have now turned to who should take responsibility for it. The truck's driver and the construction director of the 6-year railway safety improvement project at a site 20 meters above where the crash occurred, Li Yixiang, issued a public apology for the incident on Sunday, and there have also been calls for a wider review of train safety in Taiwan. Tragedy has hit one of the biggest metro systems in the world as a structure carrying one of its trains has collapsed. Here's what you need to know. At least 24 people have died as a result of an overpass collapsing in Mexico City, according to the New York Times. Occurring at 10:22 p.m. near the Olivo station in Mexico City Metro Line 12, the collapse sent 2 carriages of a passenger train crashing towards the busy roads below the overpass. The BBC notes that residents had previously reported cracks in the overpass structure after an earthquake in 2017, though transport authorities made repairs following the reports, according to Mexico's El Universal newspaper. "We only heard a thunderous noise and everything started coming apart," one survivor told El Universal, according to The Guardian. "We were sent flying and hit the ceiling," she said. As of this morning, at least 79 people have been hospitalized as a result of the incident, according to CNN, citing Mexican officials. 4 bodies remain inside the train's carriages. At a press conference on Tuesday, Mexico City Mayor Claudia Sheinbaum said that 2 investigations will be launched into the collapse, one by the Attorney General and one by an external company specializing in metros and structural issues. Mexican Foreign Minister Marcelo Ebrard said that he will fully cooperate with any investigation into the incident. He was Mexico City mayor when the structure was built, according to CNN. "The causes must be investigated and responsibilities defined," he said. An oil spill in the seas near Mauritius is so large that it can be seen from space. Here is what we know so far. Reuters reports Mauritius has declared a state of emergency after a stricken tanker began spilling tons of fuel, causing an ecological disaster among the reefs to the southeast of the island nation. The Panamanian-flagged bulk carrier Wakashio is owned by Japan-based Okio Marine, an affiliate of Nagashiki Shipping. According to the Washington Post, the ship struck the reefs on July 25th and has leaked more than 1,000 tons of oil. India-based news site The Saddle reports that the 300-meter-long Wakashio carried 3,800 tons of bunker fuel, 200 tons of diesel, and 90 tons of lubricants. According to Al Jazeera, Mauritius fears the ship could break up completely and release all its cargo. Al Jazeera reports oil sludge could be seen seeping into the ocean and white sand beaches, which threatens the fish, coral, and marine wildlife that Mauritius depends on for its economy. Once again, 2020 hits the ball right out of the park. Perhaps now is a good time to brush up these woodsy skills you have always fantasized about, supposing, of course, that there will be a wilderness for us to run to at the end of all this. Last month's oil spill in Mauritius could end up ruining one of the last great hotspots of marine biodiversity left on Earth. Now, an investigation suggests it happened because someone on the ship wanted to get within cell phone range of the island for a birthday celebration, among other damning details. Here's what we know so far. The Panama Maritime Authority has officially joined the investigation of the final voyage of the MV Wakashio. The Wakashio ran aground on a coral reef in July and broke apart in mid-August, spilling 1,000 tons of oil. It was the worst environmental disaster in the history of Mauritius. Mauritius is a small and poor island state in the Indian Ocean. It depends on fish, corals, and marine wildlife for food and tourism for its economy. The accident happened at Point Esne, a coral reef that lies near a marine park and is listed under the Ramsar Convention on Wetlands of International Importance. The Wakashio entered the Indian Ocean on July 16th. The Panamanian-flagged, Japanese-owned bulk carrier adjusted course on July 21st. The ship then entered Mauritius's exclusive economic zone on July 23rd. On July 25th, it changed course again and collided with the reef off the coast of Mauritius at 7:15 p.m. The Panama Maritime Authority confirmed revelations first reported by local newspaper L'Express. The Wakashio made a course change to get within 5 miles of Mauritius to pick up a cell phone signal for a crew member's birthday celebration. The investigation also found that the chart displayed on the Wakashio's electronic chart display and information system was the wrong chart and the wrong scale. This made it impossible to properly verify the approach of the coast and shallower waters. Mauritian waters are home to 1,700 species, according to the UN Convention on Biological Diversity. Speaking to the BBC, Karina Chokan, a senior lecturer in marine biology at the University of Brighton, said there are very few such marine areas with such rich biodiversity left on the planet. An oil spill like this will impact almost everything there. Sunil Kumar Nandeshwar, the captain of the Japanese ship, was arrested last month and charged with unlawful interference with the operation of a property of a ship that resulted in unsafe navigation. The 58-year-old Indian national faces 60 years in jail if found guilty.
For more news animations and explainers, hit the subscribe and bell button to join the TomoNews family. Thanks for watching.